Okay, let me see. You can hear me, right? Well, thank you for inviting me to speak here. ALMA is all about decarbonizing the ocean space, and we are very much focused on the deep sea, starting out there. Today, there is really no viable solution for deep sea shipping to go to net zero. So the reason I'm here now is actually to tell you that the solution is on its way. And we are going to commercially deliver that solution the second half of this decade. From 25 onwards, you will have something that kind of fits the sweet spot for many of you working in a deep sea. But first of all, a few words from our sponsors. Isn't that what they say?
Eliminating harmful emissions from the short sea segment reached the market years ago. Developing and demonstrating solutions for larger vessels traveling longer distances remains a huge challenge in the work to decarbonize the maritime sector. Already in 2003, Eidesvik vessel Viking Energy set a record when becoming the world's first LNG-fueled offshore vessel, paving the way for the offshore battery revolution. Now, Viking Energy is ready to set a new world record. In the EU-funded ShipFC project, 14 partners aim to tackle this challenge by piloting game-changing solid oxide fuel cell technology. Introducing green ammonia as fuel. The project will install a 2-megawatt ammonia fuel cell system on board offshore vessel Viking Energy. The new energy system will allow the ship, owned and operated by Eidesvik and on contract for Equinor, to sail emission-free. With the new flexible power system on board, the fuel cells can utilize the green ammonia to power the propulsion and other consumers on board. This allows the gensets to be turned off, resulting in no emissions. After treatment of exhaust gas from the SOFC also ensures minimal emissions of NOx. A significant part of this game-changing project is to prove the case for long-range, high-power, zero-emission shipping. Through studies of 3 specific use cases, the project aims at delivering alternative zero-emission designs for ocean-going vessels with power demands up to 20 megawatt. This will prove the relevance of the developed technology to a broad set of use cases and explore the path to zero-emission deep-sea shipping. When proven, the ShipFC project truly can help eliminate harmful emissions from the maritime sector forever.
So, who is ALMA? Well, we are actually a startup with more than 30 years experience from developing energy systems for space and for the ocean space. We have in 1991, we developed the first SOFS, solid oxide fuel cell planar system together with Statoil. And in 2010, we had the first passenger vessel running on hydrogen in the harbor of Bergen. And all along, up until 2 years ago, when we were bought by Aker, we were actually developing energy systems to higher TRL levels together with the ESA, the European Space Agency, developing energy storage systems and energy solutions for Moon and Mars travel. So what we have been doing, what we needed is, of course, at some point we need capital. And that's why Yngve came along to really boost this. Because I noticed, of course, the solid oxide fuel cells were on the DNV charts earlier, coming in 2030 something. We are kind of really boosting this now. We are developing this, as we said, we're demonstrating 2 megawatts in 2025. And in parallel, we're actually producing or preparing the commercial product to be released in 2026. So we are actually here to help you deliver on the net zero goals of 2030 and of course going further to 2050. So what is the solution? Well, it's all about fuel flexibility, actually to be able to run on LNG, methanol, liquid oil, hydrogen carriers, even methanol, ethanol. You can do a lot. The flexibility on the fuel is important, but also, of course, the high efficiency, starting at 60% efficiency. And also, if you can apply the heat, you get up in the 80s. And this really reduces the fuel, of course. The carbon tax coming along is going to be very much part of this, the business case, but also the storage tanks and the systems. When you have a higher energy efficiency, it kind of bring down the cost on the capex as well. So a modular system, it's a kind of a closed loop in the sense that the air and the fuel never meet. So the concentration of the CO2 coming out from the fuel cell system is around 60%, making it much easier to capture and then to store than in a traditional engine where you have 4 to 5% CO2. So this is also an important part of it. By applying SOFs, you will bring down your cost, your fuel, and the efficiency goes up, but also you have the availability to go zero emission on fossil fuels. And developed from Bergen, we're trying now we're cheering on everybody else working on SOFs, Bloom and the others are coming along. We were really happy that we need more, but we are very much focused on taking the maritime DNA, thinking about salty air, the movement on board the ships and everything, so we're very focused on delivering for deep sea. And these are some of the projects that we're working on. You heard from Odfjell earlier today. We've been talking to them for many years, focusing very much on fuel flexibility, the ability to work to maybe go to the harbor or LNG and leave on methanol has been somewhat of a goal for us all along. And together with them and Aker BP and Wärtsilä, we are now also demonstrating an LNG CAEOP CC as a clean, highly efficient offshore power with carbon capture. As easy as that. The Ship FC project you already had a short presentation of. It's funded by the EU, so it's important. We have 100 million NOK coming in from EU for that project, and even a little bit more for the next one, the Helenes project, which is for a cruise vessel. In this case, we're going to demonstrate cogeneration. We use the heat as well as the power, a smaller system, 500 kilowatts. And then, as I said, in the 2026 onwards, we will deliver commercial projects to Aker BP Eidesvik for 2 different supply vessels. And we are also now looking at larger FPSOs where we're going to deliver in the multi-megawatt scale. So the last project that we're focusing on is the Edwin, the hydrogenous solution, which is very important to us. Well, it's interesting to us because the release unit of the liquid oil hydrogen carrier needs heat. And the solid oxide fuels, as they're running at 800 degrees, we can release the heat. And the combination of those 2 technologies is actually very good. So the production, our timeline, is a little bit different from what you saw earlier. What we're doing now is very much testing the demonstration. We're looking at different fuels, seeing how flexible we can be and how fast we can pace this or make this happen. And then we are now developing, as I said, the 2 megawatt solution in a 40-foot container is something that's stackable, it's modular, it's possible to plan, and we are setting up the pilot production as we speak together with Aker Solutions, and we are also now making the big investment decision for the mega factory to start off in 25, 26, and then we're going to scale quickly. We have an ambition to reach 1 gigawatt by the end of 2030. So at this point, we're actually trying to just find the front runners of the different segments that are most interesting to us. And we think some of them are here in Singapore. So we're also in dialogue with many already. So if there's something you would like to know more, we only have 10 minutes. It's a little bit difficult to explain everything. But this is our plan. And to leave you with 2 takeaways, it's fuel flexible, highly efficient, and with the ability to capture the carbon. And also, we are going to do this. We are really pushing on to make this happen from 2025 onwards. Thank you.